And so it's our final race of the day, the Calm All Porsche Trophy, second of 3 races this weekend for these cars, 2 sprint races today, endurance race tomorrow. This is the grid. On pole position, it's the number 47 car of James Coleman, and alongside him is the 51 car of John Walker. On the second row, it's going to be number 60, which is going to be driven in this race by Callum Lockie, and next to him it is the 55 car of Jonathan Leeson. The third row is 25, that's Jamie McHugh, and 44, Sam Callahan. In fact, it's Porsche Boxsters that rounded out the top 3 as well, with John Walker second and Sam Callahan in third position. The best of the SP1 cars was Jamie McHugh in fourth. Roger Coy won the SP3 class in fifth. The James Harvey car, Porsche Box S, won the Porsche Racing Drivers Association in sixth place. And the SP4 class, effectively Porsche 924s up to 145 brake horsepower per tonne, that was won by Philip Waters. So that's the way the first race went. Race ahead of us. Those are the 2 cars on the front row. Red lights go on. The race about to get underway. It does so now, and it's a good start this time from the car on pole position, which wasn't the case earlier on. And so it is the 47 car of James Coleman that leads. The Welsh flag is dropped to get the 10-second penalty driver away. And here is the leader, challenged by John Walker there. He went a bit deep into the corner, ran a little bit wide, but has held on to second place with, it looks like, Roger Coy, is it? Into, Callum Lockie, the Roger Coy car, into third position.
Yes, so he hasn't got the power in the straight line in the Class 3 car. It's busy here though, isn't it? In the mid-pack 3 abreast there through School, through the kink, flat out. But Walker extremely loud on the brakes. He's not going to make the corner. He's going to make the corner, is John Walker. But someone that doesn't, that's the 944 Turbo out there, Jamie McHugh, who had a good race earlier. He's going to drop to the back, therefore. He's had that spin up at Rocket. But for the leader, that's James Coleman. But yeah, John Walker, the former caterer man, was late on the brakes there to get close to the leader. Then Callum Lockie there in third position in this car that he used to use for coaching, but Roger Coy decided he would like to go racing with it, with Callum, so they're doing a race apiece today in the top 3, not separated by very much at the end of the first lap, just about 0.6 seconds. And Sam Callahan comes through there in fourth position.
Yep, so they're making their way around the second lap of the race. That's Walker under pressure from Callum Lockie there in number 60, leading his class.
Looks like Philip Waters might have got involved in something, because he's come through right at the back, even behind Andrew Peck, who had that penalty. Yes. Ivor Mayers is a bit further back than where he should have been too, really.
Yeah, so Carl Rossi is leading the class 4, I think it's 145 brake horsepower per tonne cars. Yeah, a nice shot of the cars as they head up towards Rocket once again. This on the second lap of the race. 12 3/4 minutes of it left to go. See some cars alongside one another there as they head into the left-hander. We're now watching these cars from our vantage point at the top of the hill. It looks like there's a bit of a shuffle going on. The number 9 car is in a big scrap there with 35. So that Daniel Craig is the 9 car of Chris Campbell, who is 57 years of age, from Gornal, West Midlands, although from Derbyshire originally. He's a big rugby fan, and he started racing approximately 10 years ago, but he's never done a full season so far, hasn't Chris Campbell.
James Coleman, the leader, just equalled his lap from earlier, 1 minute 17.38. He's 1.6 seconds ahead of John Walker. But Chris Campbell, who you mentioned, must have made a really good start, because he started, I think, on the 5th row of the grid. He runs there in 5th place, just ahead of Daniel Crago and Tom McHugh. So you've got these similar cars. You've got the 2 9044s and the 968, all in Class 3. And Ed Sampson, another 968, is joining in as well in this front engine Porsche battle as they head through School and then uphill towards the left-hander at Rocket, the hard braking area. But it's Campbell hanging on there, who you were just telling us a little bit about.
Yeah, and he's had a rough couple of years. He spent 7 months in hospital isolation fighting leukemia in 2021. He's only raced there for last year. That year was Grand Prix. And then just before this season kicked off, he got a deep vein thrombosis, he had 6 months off. So this is his first race this season, so he's doing all right. Had a good race earlier on as well. He was 10th in the early race, and a little bit further up the order this time, trying to keep a cast of 4 or 5 cars at bay, including Daniel Crago, Tom McHugh, and Edward Sampson here.
Yeah, majority of them all in the same class. Battling for second in class behind Callum Lockie, and I don't think we should expect to be near Callum Lockie, the very experienced man, but they're having this great battle to be best of the rest within that class, which features these front engine machines. And the Class 1 car, that's off at the start. Jamie McHugh is working his way through, so he's probably got the pace to pass all these cars, I would have thought.
Yeah, he finished 4th in race 1, so he should do, shouldn't he, really?
Yeah, that's right. Campbell's had a big slide there, hasn't he, as they go through Church, and that's going to give Crago the opportunity, I think, as they head uphill to challenge. Crago's won the last couple of meetings in this class at Fruxton and Snetterton, but they're side by side. So they both tried to brake late, but Chris Campbell's doing a great job here, isn't he? So it's great to see him on the mend and join himself at Anglesey with this battle that he's headed amongst these similar cars around him. Oh, but he's gone a little bit wide perhaps at Peel, but that'll give him the inside line for the best part of the corkscrew, so that shouldn't work too badly for him.
Really good scrap this, isn't it? And Campbell doing a good job of holding everybody up here, but he's going to have McHugh trying to come through before much longer. Jamie McHugh, that is in the 25 car. So we'll see how that shapes up. They come over the line again. That's to complete lap number 4 of the race. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's really 6 cars involved in this, including Jamie Harvey in the number 40 car at the back of that group. The 39-year-old director from Cardiff, who started racing 4 years ago, and who bought that, or built that Boxster, I should say, in lockdown. I suppose he had to find something to do with his time. 3.2 litre car prepared by Student Motorsport and Rocket Dog Racing.
Not sure what happened to McHugh there, because he got past Daniel Craig around the outside of the banking, but by the time they got to Church, he'd slotted him back behind him again. Oh, there's a car on the grass. It had a big moment in the background. I think they saved it, which is quite remarkable. That might be Sampson in the other white car. Yeah, he did save it. That was well held, because that went well in excess of 100 miles per hour. He just dipped a tyre onto the grass and got very, very sideways briefly, but he caught it, so that was a job well done.
It was, certainly looks a little bit worrying for a split second there. Now, is Campbell going to lose the place here? His second place in class to Daniel Crago. The two of them are side by side as they come into the Corkscrew. That time it's a very smoky looking on the 9 car, isn't it? Crago's going to be down the inside here. It almost comes to a dead stop there. So they're still side by side as they come through the final elements of the corner. They're going to be side by side over the timing line as well. It's just going to be the 9 car with its nose in front, and importantly the inside line for turn 1 as well. Here they come. It looks like Jamie McHugh's going to get through as well there, although is the 9 car a little bit too wide. There's 3 of them side by side as they head to the banking. McHugh's car should be the fastest, but they're heading into a braking zone, so that doesn't really matter. So it's Crago now that's gone through, and Campbell's lost a couple of positions.
Yeah, I think he backed out of that, didn't he? He was going to get very tight into the banking. And McHugh hasn't got the better of Crago there, has he? Although out of the corner, Crago runs wide. So McHugh's turbocharged Porsche 944, is he going to finally get into 5th place here? Through school he has, so he's through into 5th. He's got himself up ahead of Daniel Crago. Importantly, and all that got past Chris Campbell as they turn their way here into Rocket. Now it's side by side behind them between Tom McHugh and Ed Sampson. Sampson is making the move work. Meanwhile, there could be a battle for the lead coming on, because John Walker set a couple of fastest laps and is just 1.7 seconds behind James Coleman. In the earlier race, James Coleman won by 15 seconds. With this race, he's got the attention from John Walker and of Callum Lockie, who aren't very far behind.
Yes, they're just heading on to the back stretch now for the 7th time, and watching this group of cars coming through to complete lap number 6. And it is a different order now, of course. It is Jamie McHugh ahead of Daniel Crago and Chris Campbell. So that sort of flips around from the order it was a lap ago. 6.5 minutes left, so it's the second half of this race now. Edward Sampson 8th, Jamie Harvey 9th, Tom McHugh through this group in 10th place. Again, Andrew Peck has come through nicely from the back up into 11th place. And we should say in Class SP4, Carl Rossington still ahead. He's 7 seconds clear of Ivor Mares, and it looks like he's lapping faster than Mares as well at the moment. But it was a slow lap from Mares last time round.
Yeah, we didn't see Carl Rossington in the earlier race, did we? So he's showing his speed in this one. The leaders have just gone through to complete another lap as the battle for 7th continues at Rocket. And it might be another place loss here for Chris Campbell. He's been making these really good starts today, but he might drop off of the class podium there, because I think Edward Sampson could have got ahead of him. Meanwhile, the lead gap, what's that? It's 1.5 seconds now, with a third of the race still to go. Callum Lockie's not able to live with the pace of the Boxsters at the moment, so they're just pulling a little bit clear. But here's that battle still going on as they come down into the corkscrew, still headed, well now headed by Edward Sampson, so he did get ahead. They're all being caught by Andrew Peck, aren't they? The driver who started with that delay at the back. So how many of these can he pick off before the end of the race? And the earlier one he got 9th, he's currently 11th, but he's lapping a good couple of seconds quicker than these cars ahead of him now.
Interesting to see exactly what he can do. So that's Peck in the number 68 car, just closing in on this group. 56 car of Tom McHugh is the one that's immediately ahead of him. Peck in the 968, Tom McHugh in the 944 S2. 4 3/4 minutes to go. Round Church they come. And Peck, we should see here demonstrating. We see him demonstrating some superiority. They are, of course, in the same class. So will he be able to get through and past Tom McHugh? Not yet, can't. As those leaders turn their way through Rockets once again. Coleman leading by 1.39 seconds now from John Walker. So the gap coming down little by little every lap. That's the 9 car of Campbell with 40 Harvey behind him. Then it's McHugh and then it's Peck, still in that same order.
Yeah, that's right. So that's going to go to the end, and Peck find a way through on these for the end. James Harvey hasn't made the progress we thought he might have done, because he did finish 6th in the earlier race, and he's not been able to get past this front engine battle at all as they work their way through turn 1. He's ahead of Tom McHugh now, but that's the only one he's really passed. And McHugh might lose this place into the banking to Andrew Peck, and he does get through, so the top 10 now for Andrew Peck as they turn their way through. As the leaders come across the line with it looks like another reduced gap to the eye, and as the screen refreshes, it's 9/10 of a second. We get another fastest lap from John Walker, 1 minute 16.84. I just starting to wonder if John Walker did do both of these races or whether Christian's had a go, because it's going over 2 seconds a lap faster than in race 1, which either means he's made a big improvement, or who we believe to be driving the 2 races may not have been the case. Yeah,
well, we were advised it would be John in both, but it could well be that Christian has driven it in this second race, and he's the younger member of the family. He's only, what is he, 18 years old is Christian, just going into his first year at Loughborough University, and good luck to him with that. And he's in this 2001 Porsche Boxster S. Of course, their picker is their mum, Anne Walker, and Charles Ivor Porsche has done lots of preparation work on that particular car. The car we're watching, though, is just turning its way through. That's the Leeson car, number 55, turning its way through this corkscrew.
Behind this group is where the leaders come through. So the leaders come out of the corkscrew. James Coleman ahead of, we go with John Walker, as that's who we're being told is at the wheel, as they turn their way through a second apart. Here they are then. They've pulled 5 seconds away now from Callum Lockie, so he hasn't quite managed to make a position during the course of this race. But it's Coleman and Walker, with traffic to deal with over the last 2 laps of this race. We started the penultimate lap. Through Church Corner they go. And the first car they're going to lap in this group is the Fernando Coutinho Boxster, I think. Yep. As they head up towards Rocket for the 11th time.
Yes, with a minute and a half to go in this race. Philip Waters just going past our